In the winter of 1976, a new strain of flu was causing hundreds of respiratory infections at a military post in New Jersey. Initially, this virus appeared to be closely related to the 1918 Spanish flu virus. Public health officials started planning for what could be the next pandemic in the coming winter. In March, President Gerald Ford announced the government's plan to vaccinate every man, woman, and child in the United States. The CDC advised that 80% of Americans should be vaccinated. Emergency legislation for a national immunization program was signed soon after. Within 10 months, nearly 25% of the U.S. population, or 45 million people, were vaccinated, but serious problems persisted. In October, 3 people died of heart attacks after receiving the vaccine at the same Pittsburgh clinic. Even though the deaths were not confirmed to be related to the vaccine, it caused great fear in the public. In addition, over 450 people developed Guillain-Barré syndrome. By the end of October, the U.S. government had to destroy over $40 million worth of vaccine. In December 1976, the vaccination program was suspended. Welcome to Li's Real Talk. The 1976 swine flu vaccine debacle taught us a big lesson. When science and politics are mixed together, it causes public health hazard. 1976 was an election year. President Gerald Ford was seeking re-election, and some writers believe that the high-profile national vaccine program was politically motivated to help him get re-elected. In October 1976, a couple of weeks before the election, photos of celebrities and political figures receiving the vaccine appeared in the media. President Ford himself was photographed in his office receiving the vaccine shot from the White House doctor. But the problem was that the pandemic never happened. Later, researchers discovered that the swine flu strains had been circulating in the U.S. long before this one was identified. And scientists who feared another Spanish flu did not know that the 1918 flu was caused by avian and not swine. So it turned out that the real victims of this pandemic were the 450-odd people who got Guillain-Barré syndrome after getting the 1976 vaccine. If you compare the 2020 COVID vaccine to the 1976 vaccine, they're different but also kind of similar. They're different because, unlike 1976, we're not speculating a pandemic. We're in the middle of the pandemic. On this note, the Trump administration's effort in developing vaccines in less than a year is commendable. What makes it similar to 1976 is that science and politics are again mixed in addressing public health crisis. In 1976, the Ford administration overreacted and was overzealous in pushing for vaccines. Some public health officials might be doing that again. You might have heard that the World Health Organization, or WHO, recently changed the definition of herd immunity. It deleted the words naturally acquired immunity as part of the definition and called herd immunity purely a concept of vaccination. So now, according to the WHO, only vaccination can create herd immunity, and natural immunity is gone. That means there isn't natural immunity related to COVID-19. I don't know if there's scientific proof of that. The WHO is not the only one. Dr. Anthony Fauci changed his definition of herd immunity too, 4 times. He initially said that herd immunity can be achieved if 60 to 70% of the population was either infected or vaccinated. Over the course of a few months, he increased the percentage to achieve herd immunity from 60% to 90%. Just very recently, he acknowledged that he had been deliberately moving the goalposts based on 2 things. 1, there's new science now, and 2, his gut feeling tells him that the country is now finally ready to hear what he really thinks. What Dr. Fauci was really saying is that what he knew about science was wrong. And 2, he didn't tell us everything because he didn't think that we could understand. Now, this is troubling. How do we know what WHO and Dr. Fauci are saying is correct? And are they telling us everything now? Is the definition change of herd immunity really based on new scientific findings? Maybe it's done to pave the way for mandatory mass vaccination. I don't have an answer, and I'm not a scientist. What I do know is that it is dangerous to mix science and politics, as there will be public health consequences. Leave your comments and let me know what you think. I'd like to hear your opinion. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.